versus the San Angelo Bobcats. Brought to you by these sponsors, boosters of youth activities in Odessa, Midland, and the Permian Basin. Samuel Majors Jewelers, Lutheran Church of the Risen Lord, J.C. Penney, Henderson Parker Insurance Agency, Fast Photo Service, Bronco Chevrolet, Harold's Electronics, Strike It Rich, Bergman's Flowers and Gifts, House of Furniture, Culligan Water Service, Jones Pontiac, and Bob's Casing Crews. Here now are Gary Hopper and Don Scott.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to San Angelo Stadium for one of the premier matchups in high school football in the state of Texas. The mighty Mojo Permian Panthers from Odessa meeting with the Central High Bobcats of San Angelo. The entire San Angelo football team is acting as honorary captains, so they're all lined up on the field for the pregame ceremonies and the toss of the coin. This should turn into be one of the better football games in the history of this 25-year-old rivalry. This is Don Scott from KLST in San Angelo, along with Gary Hopper from KOSA in Odessa. Gary, the Permian Panthers this year have had an amazing season, but one of many for them.
They're always amazing, Don, and in this particular game tonight, as you alluded to in the opening statement, the eyes of Texas are upon you. Both of these teams, I'm sure a lot of scouts in the stands and the press box tonight. Almost a full house. We're expecting somewhere between 20 and 25,000 in a 17,000 stadium. So it's going to be a very loud night and a very good night of football, I'm sure, with two excellent football teams. Permian Panthers, of course, rated number 1 in the state by the Harris poll, and the San Angelo Bobcats rated number 2, and you can't get much better than that, the number 1 and 2 teams.
That's about as good as you can get. The Permian Panthers won the toss. They have elected to receive. They will be with their backs to the north end of the stadium. San Angelo will be defending the south goal. Both clubs are reported to be in pretty good condition for the ball game. There is one report that Bevins Hoffman, the big fullback for San Angelo Central, does have a sprained ankle. He is in a special shoe and heavily taped. They're going to put him in. They're going to start with him, see how far he can go. The crowd is still filtering into the stadium. There is not all the seats filled at this time, but there are a number of people sitting on the grassy banks at both ends of the stadium. We're getting very close to kickoff time at this point. And we should be seeing one of the best hard-hitting contests around. Some of the experts have called for a very high-scoring ball game. Personally, I do not feel that that's what we're going to have tonight. I think it's going to be a defensive struggle and a defensive battle. While both of these teams are capable of scoring a great number of points, the tradition says that when they meet each other, they fall back on the old reliable Mr. Defense, and they play it tough.
Of course, both of these teams will be tested to their fullest extent, but I think one of the big tests, especially for the San Angelo Bobcats, will be to see if they can defend the Permian pass, which they're very good at. Rex Lamberley is an excellent quarterback, and he has two favorite receivers in Kirk Strahan and Keith Metcalf. So we'll see what happens with the Bobcats there on their pass defense.
Okay, Gary, the ball is on the tee, and here goes the opening kickoff of the 25th renewal of this old revival. Takes the ball on about the 5-yard line and brings it out. He's got open field in front of him. He is going a long, long ways, if not all the way. Only the saving speed of the San Angelo Bobcats came up and stopped Marcus Huggins, who came in with a very beautiful kickoff return on this opening kickoff. The speed of San Angelo Central was able to pull him down on the far sideline, but that's something that, here we go with a replay of it.
See him there, that's number 67 chasing him for the San Angelo Bobcats. That's Scott Ledette. Of course, Marcus Hudgens, he's the tailback for the Permian Panthers, so the Bobcats are going to see some more of him tonight.
Okay, number 21 for San Angelo made that stop, and here comes our first snap of the ball from scrimmage. Permian lined up strong left, and they're running to that side. Stop made after about a 5-yard gain.
Was number 40 on the carry, John Hamilton.
John Hamilton, the carry, he is starting tonight in the up-back slot for the Permian Panthers. The stop was made on the far side by a host of Bobcats. Did not be able to pick out the lead hit over there. This crowd is big, it is noisy, and this is going to be a very wild game. Lined up once again, strong left. Lamberti, and we have some motion on the right side, the right guard for Permian. Step back about one step, and number 60, I believe it was, the strong guard, and that's Carmen. And the penalty will be stepped off against Odessa Permian for illegal procedure or in the line of scrimmage.
Fred Blackman, number 69 for the Bobcats. He was alert and came across the line.
Right. Blackman is a very fine defensive ball player for San Angelo. A young man that hasn't played a great deal before this year, but he has developed very rapidly. The entire San Angelo defense is a very young unit, Gary. Strong left once again for Permian as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Once again, they're coming around with Hamlin to tail back, and he is stopped hard on the far side of the field. Fine tackle there by number 8, strong safety, Rodney Anthony came up to make the hit.
The Permian Panthers, excuse me, Don, I was going to say, I'm sure the Permian Panthers are going to try to get the running game going, seeing what they can get out of the Bobcats there, and if they can't get anything, they'll go to the air. Rex Lamberti, as I mentioned earlier, an excellent scoring quarterback.
Okay, lined up once again, strong left. Coming out, and they're coming back on a reverse counter with the flanker back, Kurt Strahan carrying the ball. He's very close to that first down.
Stacked up by the...
A little bit short. It'll be about a 4th and 1. So very, very early in the ball game, with just exactly 10 minutes left in the ball game at this time, we're seeing the first critical decision that Permian must make. And I believe, being on about the 21-yard line, they're going to go for it. Come out of the huddle and up to the line of scrimmage, lined up with the strong side of the line to the right. Actually, they're in the double tight end formation at this time. Lined up strong right, double tight end. Handoff goes to Hager, and he is ripping all the way down to the goal line and in for the first score of the evening. Permian takes an early lead by a 6-0 count.
Mark Hill, number 63, the middle linebacker for the Bobcats, was grabbing at him, trying to make the tackle. But Britt Hager, you don't make those shoestring tackles on. You've got to grab him and pull him down. He's strong, as we see it again on the instant replay. Just a simple handoff. He looks for the hole, and there it is, and he's off and running. There's number 63 chasing him.
Good hit on him, but you don't bring this young man down with simply an arm tackle. You've got to wrap him up in your arms and call for your friends to help, and that just wasn't there. Lining up for the extra point attempt, the kicker is Strahan for Permian. Ball is down, snap is good, kick is up, and it's good. 7-0 is our score, with Odessa Permian taking a very quick early lead in this ball game. With the score 7-0, 9:33 left in the ball game. We'll be back in just one moment.
We're proud of the Permian Panthers, and we're happy to participate in the sponsorship of this telecast for the pleasure of the fans in the Permian Basin. We invite you to our services at Lutheran Church of the Risen Lord, 21st and Grandview, and also to our daughter congregation, Our Savior's Lutheran Church at 5200 West, Illinois in Midland.
Come see, come shop, come save at JCPenney's biggest and best sale of the year, JCPenney Days. Take advantage of the last 2 days, Friday and Saturday, for super savings throughout the store. Save 25% on the entire line of outerwear for men, women, and children. Or save 33 to 42% on the entire men's Woodmere collection, 3-piece suits, slacks, and sport coats. Just 2 days left of our biggest and best sale of the year, only from JCPenney.
The Henderson Parker Agency, 715 East 7th Odessa, is now in their 51st year of service to this area. They are insurance specialists in all fields, including general liability, workman's compensation, contractors' bonds, and automobile insurance. They offer fire and homeowners insurance, umbrella, and excess liability. The Henderson Parker Agency is your independent insurance agent. In business since 1932 and ready to serve you. The Henderson Parker Agency, 715 East 7th Street, Odessa, phone 337-2391.
A diamond, a miracle. Every diamond is rare, but a diamond of a carat or more is only one in a million. And like love, becomes more precious with time. An extraordinary diamond of a carat or more, born from the earth, reborn on a woman. Show the world you couldn't have made it without her.
Samuel Majors Jewelers. Fine jewelers for 4 generations in Midland and Odessa.
The Permian Panthers drew first blood tonight at the hands of Britt Hager. There he is, the handoff from Rex Lamberti. Around the right side, he's off and running. A good try there, a good try to tackle from number 26, Larry Guerrero, for the Bobcats. But Britt Hager, great momentum, great balance. Number 63, you'll see coming in trying to make the tackle again. Mark Hill, he's the middle linebacker. But Britt Hager goes ahead and falls into the end zone. 7-0 the score. The Permian Panthers on top. 9:33 left in the first quarter.
Alfred Clark is teeing the ball up for Permian for the kickoff here following the score. He is normally the tight guard for Permian, and we ought to be seeing, because now what San Angelo Central can do, they have not been behind in a ball game before this time this year. We're going to find out real quick what they're made of. Reception taken very deep. Anthony is coming up through the middle. He's got a good return going back up and about out to the 28-yard line, where he is brought down by a host of Permian tackles led by number 64 and number 30, which was Donnie McNatt, and number 64, which was John Fuller, who made the first hits on him. San Angelo Central's offense is lined up with Greg Thomas, a quarterback who is a good scrambling quarterback, who is a good rushing quarterback, and that primarily is what San Angelo Central has done this year, is rush the football. First handoff goes to Bevan Hoffman into the center of the line. He is stopped for absolutely no gain, as he was simply stuffed by the middle of that Permian defense. Very, very hard hit in there. Give him, yard and a half on the carry? A short yard and a half. Call it second down, 8. Quickly out of the huddle and up to the line of scrimmage comes the orange-clad Central Bobcats. Thomas is down under the center, takes the snap, hands out on the reverse to Derek Campbell, and he runs into a whole host of blitzing people on the left side of the Permian line. Number 38, Brett Hager, was there, and that is a load. Not only does the man carry the ball well, he is probably one of the hardest-hitting defensive linebackers that you will see in high school football.
Looked like Britt Hager was in the Bobcat huddle. He knew what the play was going to be.
They had a strong side squeeze blitz called that time on us, Gary, and they were lined up, bringing everybody on the left side of the Permian defense, and they came right on through. Campbell goes in motion. Thomas drops back, looking downfield. He's going to throw the ball. He's got a man wide open downfield, and he trips, and there is a flag on the play. Pass interference call is going to go against number 21, which is John Wilkins of the Permian Bobcats. John Wilkins probably, though he may be highly criticized for making an interference play, he probably saved the score on that, Gary, because the man was wide open and passed him by about a step. The ball perhaps might have been a little overthrown, but he did the interference, probably the smartest move that he could make at that time.
You see it on the instant replay. There's the pass. And right there is the interference. Tripped him up. So let's start all over again.
Okay, Greg Thomas, first and 10 now on about the 32-yard line. He's down under the center, takes the snap, hands off to the base play to Bevan Hoffman, and there is a whole host. I mean, there's not one man from Permian hitting in the middle of that line. There is 5 and 6 of them.
Garland Carman was there, number 60 for the Permian Panthers, as well as
number 11, Chief Metcalf was in
Gary
there.
Burleson, number 84, also there for the Panthers. The whole swarm of them. They like to swarm tackle.
They swarm. He made absolutely nothing. Absolutely not an inch on the play. Greg Thomas brings him up to the line of scrimmage. Gets down under the center, takes the snap. Is trying to reverse in his field. He's going back the other way, and he's got a lot of green grass in front of him. A very lot of green grass. He is down on about the 2 or 3 yard line. A quick reverse play. Greg Thomas got in trouble in the backfield, reversed his field, went back around to the right side, and had a lot of green grass.
Tackle made by number 85, one of the linebackers for the Panthers. That's Gary Payne. He's a 160-pound junior.
Here's a replay on it, and you see Greg Thomas. This young man has turned into an extremely outstanding athlete for San Angelo Central this year. Not only is he a fine athlete on the field, he's a straight-A student in the classroom, and one of the young men that is one of the finest young men you'll ever meet. timeout on the field as Permian has an injury at this time. Young man is hurt down on about the 35-yard line. He is up now and going off with very little help. I think he just was kind of dazed a little bit. I believe he's going to be all right.
That's Keith Metcalf, number 11, and he's a great football player for the Permian Panthers. Hopefully it is not a serious injury.
All right, he was the cornerback on the side that Greg Thomas reversed to, and he got cut down by a vicious block coming back in his face. That block was thrown by Fanning, number 44, who is the flanker back or wide man for the Central Bobcats. Bobcats out of the huddle up to the line of scrimmage. They've got a first and goal to go from about the 3-yard line. Greg Thomas asking the crowd to quiet down a little bit so he can hear the snap count. Base play goes to Hoffman. He dives into the right side of the line for absolutely no gain. Number 60 for Permian. Gerald Carman was the lead hitter on the tackle, but he had a whole host of friends that were not very far behind.
These teams may prove you wrong. This may be a high-scoring game after all.
Certainly is starting out that way. I still feel that the defensive units will take over before this ball game. Central up to the line, flanking Anthony way out to the right side, or the left side, pardon me. Thomas is down under. Takes the snap, hands off once again from the base play. He kept the ball and came back, but he had no place to go either, and he's down on about the 3-yard line. Number 21, the Rover, John Wilkins, came in to make the stop. John Wilkins, of course, the son of the Permian coach, John Wilkins Sr., and he is a fine ball player.
And his dad is a fine coach.
And his dad is a fine coach, and I'm sure that it's a good feeling to be able to coach your son and see him do that well. Central, once again, they've got a third down try now and about 4. They take the ball. Greg Thomas keeps it. No, he hands off to Campbell, and he's in for the touchdown. I believe it's take it back. Big score there as he vaulted in, and this predominantly San Angelo crowd is just going absolutely bananas.
See it again on the instant replay. Greg Thomas pitches right side.
Campbell, it is to Campbell, and he comes up and he simply hurdles over into the goal. On now to try the extra point. Tie this ball game up at 7-7. It's up, and it is good. So we have a 7-7 ball game. 6 minutes, 3 seconds left to play in the first quarter of action, and we've already got 2 big TDs on the board. Our score is 7-7.
You know, Don, what's amazing is neither team, it didn't seem like they had much trouble marching down the field and scoring.
Yes, and both teams have been always rated as strong defensive powers. Perhaps it's time that offense, and here once again is a replay, and it's Derek Campbell as he hurdles over the line. He was hit about the 3-yard line, but he simply got airborne, went over the top and in for the score. Central lines up to do the kickoff chores. Permian is huddling, and I'm sure both coaches on the sideline have got some strong conferences going saying, hey, look, we've got to play some defense, people. We can't sit here and play who touches the football last. If it does go to a high-scoring ball game, it certainly will be contrary to the things that have happened in the history of this series. Go into the ball. It's a short but high kick coming down on about the 17, 16-yard line. A hard-hitting tackle flying through the air to make that hit was number 2 for San Angelo Central, and that was Wiley Blakely. And boy, did he come flying through the air and cut John Hamilton off of his feet, dropping him on about the 23-yard line, let's call it. And that'll be... And here comes a replay on that hit.
Number 40 is Jody Hamilton. He's getting his speed up, rolling across the 20-yard line, and here it is. Boom. Gets his left foot and trips him up.
All right, and here we go. Permian up out of the huddle and on the line of scrimmage, lined up strong left. Lamberti underneath is the quarterback. He takes the ball, and flags go all over the field as the play gets underway. They stop it. Illegal procedure call against Odessa Permian. Officials step off 5 yards on the automatic call against Odessa Permian. I'm not sure exactly where the movement came, but there had to be some movement somewhere prematurely in the Odessa Permian line.
And all of the officials saw it at one time.
Yes, it looked like a Chinese laundry drill. And Bertie brings his ball club out of the huddle up to the line of scrimmage. He's lined up strong right. He's got his flanker set far to the left side. Brings his tight end in motion and brings it back on a counter play for a good gain of yardage. Picked up about 4 yards on the play. And carrying the ball was Mark Huggins. Senior, 187 pounds. 147 pounds. I thought that was an awful big.
Awful small, big guy.
Yeah, awful small, big guy. That's a good way to say it. Of course, I don't tend to rely a great deal on what coaches in District 5-4 or 4-5A say about the weights of their players. I have learned in the past 15 years of covering this district that they tend to fudge somewhat. Central up on the line of scrimmage, and Lamberti has his glove under. He's a quick pitch back to Huggins once again. He is sweeping far out to the left side. He's got some good ground gained over there. And there is another flag thrown on the play. I believe the flag is going to be for an illegal block, but I am not sure of that.
That was actually Johnny Hamilton, Don, on the carry.
Hamilton,
40.
Pardon me, I'm sorry. John Hamilton with the carry. And there is a clip called on the play. It occurred just before the tackle was made out there, and I'm not real sure, but what maybe the official didn't just see the end of that play instead of all of it. It looked like maybe he threw the block in the front side of him, but the man that was being blocked turned at the last moment and went down. But they're going to step it off anyway. 15 big yards. Here it comes. Let's take a real look. Look right behind the ball player there, Gary, and let's see if we can see where this clip occurs. Right there. And I'm still not sure, but it looked like to me that he had his head in front of him when he started the block, but the man turned on him, and the official just caught the tail end of the play. That often happens. And it's not the official's fault. It's something that happened out of the corner of his eye off to one side. At any rate, it sets up Odessa Permian with a second down, 25 yards to go. Long ways to go. Lamberti is up to the line of scrimmage. He is coming back, and he handles off to his big fullback, which is Hager. And for the first time tonight, they got a hold of him and dropped him. Mark Hill made the initial hit for the Bobcats right in the center of the field. They picked up about 4 on the play. Make it third down 21 or third down 22. It's difficult to tell exactly how far they have to go. So far, it has not been San Angelo Central that has slowed down this Permian drive. It has been the Permian Panthers themselves. Mistakes can kill you in a big ball game like this, and certainly has stymied this drive. Once again, the official says that the time has run out. It's a delay of game penalty going against Odessa Permian. Delay of game penalty going against Odessa Permian. Took more than 25 seconds to get the play off, and that backs them up even further. That makes it third and 26, 27 yards to go, something like that. Third and a bunch of real estate.
This isn't the Permian team that everybody is used to seeing.
Well, I think any ball club in this big a ball game with this bigger crowd and this much noise is going to have a period in the early part of the game where they're going to have to get settled down and get their nerves under control. Permian up the line of scrimmage, handoff to Hager, and he is hit behind the line of scrimmage and dropped for a loss. A hard hit there. The first man to hit him was Johnny Walker, first man to hit him was Fred Blackman and Albert Rodriguez in there. Mark Hill, the middle linebacker, also in on that hit. Everybody was trying to stuff him back in the backfield. That brings up the fourth down, and that will mean that Permian Panthers are going to have to be kicking out of their own end zone as the ball is on about the 9-yard line.
And the Bobcats are going to come up in some pretty good field position.
They have 9 men on the line of scrimmage showing a master rush. Master rush, and it's all out. They're going after it. They just missed. Ball is fielded by Fanning. He brings the ball back upfield and brings it all the way back to the 25-yard line of the Permian Panthers. And that certainly does mean that the Central Bobcats Angry Orange will be setting up in fine style with great field position. And this crowd is going bananas. Perhaps people in the Odessa area, Gary, cannot understand why the Angry Orange is so excited this year, but we've had a long dry spell.
That's right, especially against the Permian Panthers.
Against the Permian Panthers, it's been a long dry spell, and they want this victory in the worst way. Greg Thomas brings the Central Bobcats up the line of scrimmage. Derek Campbell comes in motion this way. Thomas keeps the ball, rolls out, coming around this side. A flag is thrown. Once again, Thomas tries to reverse, gets loose from one tackle, is still coming back the other way. But somewhere an official blew the ball dead. He blew the play dead, and Mr. Greg Thomas was by no means stopped.
Flag back at the 21-yard line.
There's a flag on the play. I'm thinking that's going to be a holding call, and but it is. It certainly was a blown dead in a hurry.
I think what happened, Don, is Kirk Strahan, number 17 for the Panthers, got a hold of him, and that's when they blew the ball dead. He didn't tackle him, but he stopped him in his tracks for a second.
In the graft rule, however, does not apply, Gary, in high school football in the state of Texas, but it doesn't really make any difference anyway because the holding call would have brought the ball back where it was, so no damage was done. Holding call, and that means that this time it is the Bobcats' turn to misfire as they hurt themselves as their own worst enemy. They set up with a first and about 20 yards to go for their first down. Thomas up under, takes the ball, drops straight back, looking downfield for someone to throw it to, and he's throwing long and deep. He's got a man out there, but he just overthrows him. Just overthrows number 4, and that is Alan Smith. Alan Smith, number 4, was just needed to be about 6 inches longer. Here's a replay on it. Thomas dropping right straight back, looking downfield. He's got the throw. Alan Smith is definitely behind the defender. He's got him beat by 2 steps, but the ball is just overthrown by about 2 or 3 feet. Once again, Central up to the line of scrimmage. We were looking for a Permian passing attack. Thus far, it has been Central that's putting the ball in the air somewhat. Thomas up under the center, takes the snap once again, dropping straight back, looking downfield, looking for somebody open, throws the ball all the way downfield. Long throw, clear into the end zone. Closest man to it was a Permian defender, and that was, I believe, John Wilkins once again.
You know, the Bobcats, it's common knowledge, they're not known as a good passing team.
Yes, the Bobcats don't throw the football.
They haven't thrown it that much this year. I think they've only completed like 7 passes the entire season.
Greg, there is a little bit of a story behind that. Greg Thomas in the Abilene-Cooper game in the first quarter hyperextended his elbow and has not been able to pass the rest of that ball game or in last week's ball game against Midland Lee. Tonight, evidently, he has decided to throw the football. It is 3rd down and about 20 yards to go, and once again, the handoff this time goes to Derek Campbell right up the middle. Campbell brushed through for about an 8-yard gain, brings it up to about the 30-yard line, but that's far short of the distance they needed to make a 1st and 10. The stop was made by Gary Holmesy. Or is that Housey?
Holmesy.
Okay, Gary Holmesy. That brings up a 4th down from about the 30-yard line. It looks like the Bobcats have decided that this is 4-down territory, and in this ball game, Coach Jimmy Keeling is going after it. They're up, and the whole stands are up on their feet, and everybody's tense and anticipatory. Greg Thomas rolls out to his right. He's looking downfield, throws the ball. It's complete. Good for the first down, and that ball is complete on a beautiful catch down there made by the wingback, Brian Ross. The split in, Brian Ross, 183-pound senior, and he did a beautiful job. Watch the replay. Greg Thomas takes the ball, rolls out to his right, looking downfield, getting some good protection out in front of him, lets the ball go. Brian Ross goes up into between 2 Permian defenders and brings the catch down.
You can't argue with a reception like that. Brian Ross had to go upstairs to get it, and he did the job.
It was a beautiful pass, a beautiful throw, and a beautiful catch. And that sets up the San Angelo Central Bobcats 1st and 10 on the 15-yard line of Permian. Sweep coming to this side with Derek Campbell running. He's got a little outside room. He goes out of bounds on about the 6-yard line. Stop was made by Mitch Madison. Mitch is the son of Mo Madison, a longtime coach in the West Texas area. Campbell is sweeping to his left side. He's running very well. Campbell has exceptional speed. He's only 143 pounds, but he is very, very speedy. Crowd shouting, go, 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 as the Bobcats come out of the huddle, setting up with a 2nd and about 1 on the 9-yard line. And the call goes to the big man. And that is the first call tonight that Bevins Hoffman has made any yardage on. Bevins Hoffman blasted down to about, I can't see, where are they marking it?
About the 3-yard line.
About the 3-yard line. 1st and goal to go from about the 3-yard line, and that was the first time tonight that Bevins Hoffman has run with any authority. Bevins is just a junior, but he is a fine football player at the present time and should develop into a great one by next year. Pitch back goes to Campbell. He swings across, and he's in for his second touchdown of the night. And the San Angelo Central Bobcats jump out to a very quick 13-7 lead in this crucial District 4-5A contest. Let's watch it once again on the replay.
I believe this was the same play they scored on the first time.
It's a quick trap play going to the right side. They blast off and trap on the outside and just simply blew it in. Extra point attempt coming up. Snap is back down. The kick is up, and it is good. And that makes our score with 53 seconds left in the first quarter of play. San Angelo Central Bobcats 14, the Odessa Permian Panthers 7.
Well, the Permian Panthers, no doubt, Don, are stunned. They've got to be. They're not used to being behind. Of course, John Wilkins knew coming into this football game that this was going to be the team's toughest test by far. As we see the score again from Derek Campbell, a 3-yard run. He's in there.
He was hit just as he went across the goal line, and a very solid hit, I might add, by Wilkins. But Wilkins was just about one step late getting there, as he had to move through some pretty heavy traffic in the middle to get over to the far side of the field and try to stop Derek Campbell. Derek Campbell is only about 145, 147 pounds, but he has an excellent speed, and he is a very hard-nosed ball player. 53 seconds left in the first quarter. Our score is 14-7. And we're awaiting the kickoff following that last score by the San Angelo Central Bobcats. The Bobcats were rated earlier in the year as having one of the finest offensive ball clubs in the state. Some people had some doubts after last week's narrow victory over Midland Lee. And the kickoff, man, was stopped with a hard hit. A very hard hit. Bringing it back upfield was Holmesy. He caught the short kick, brought it back upfield, and he was really hit hard in there. Hard break. That sets it up on about the 24-yard line, let's call it. First down, 10 yards to go on the 24-yard line with only about 49 seconds left to go in the first quarter of this ball game. Permian out of the huddle up to the line of scrimmage, line up strong right. Flanker split to both sides of the field. Brings him in motion back toward the line of scrimmage. Rolling back, looking downfield for somebody to throw to, and Lamberti tries to run, and he is dropped for very little gain. The first hit on that was Albert Rodriguez. We just got an estimate of the crowd. At this point, the estimated crowd in attendance here is 20,000 people. That's a lot of people for a high school football game. You tell somebody up in the state of New York or somewhere like that we had 20,000 for a high school football game, they'd brand us all as liars.
Especially in a stadium that only holds 17,500.
Yeah, well, it's, what the heck. Use a little grease and flick them in here.
Where
we go. San Angelo, our handback goes back to Lombardi. He throws downfield a beautiful pass and a beautiful catch. That's what you call throw and catch football. The tight end for Permian, whose name is what?
Mike Kwiatkowski.
Kwiatkowski. Okay, that's all, Coach. You're going to have to send Kwiatkowski to the sideline. Beautiful catch. A young man by the name of Kwiatkowski. I hope they don't throw to him too much tonight. And that is the end of the first quarter of play. And we'll be back in just a moment. Our score is San Angelo Central 14, Odessa Permian 7.
Second quarter, the Permian Panthers with the football, 1st and 10 from their own 43-yard line. They trail in this football game. The San Angelo Bobcats have the lead right now, 14-7 over the Panthers. So the Panthers will try to get some kind of drive together. We'll see if it's going to be in the air or on the ground. So far, it's been on the ground. But as I've mentioned so many times before, the Panthers are very good at the air attack. And Rex Lamberti can do the job. He bows under the quarterback, barks the signals. Strahan, number 17, in motion. He hands to Brett Hager, flags all over the place. And he's brought down by a host of San Angelo Bobcats. So we'll see what the call is. Offsides.
Encroachment call. Encroachment or offsides call against the left tackle for San Angelo. That would be Fred Blackman. Jumped just before the snap. Couldn't get back in time.
So let's call it first down now, 5 yards to go from the Panthers as we move closer to the midfield stripe. Mark the ball at the 48-yard line. Number 81 for the Permian Panthers is split left side. That's Shane Easley. Rex Lamberti is the quarterback for the Panthers. Strahan in motion around the right side. He fakes over the middle. It's complete. I believe that's a completion to number 81 for the Panthers. That's Shane Easley. He's the man that split out left side that time, came back over the middle as we see it again.
It is an absolutely perfect pass and beautiful catch. He went down. The ball was thrown low where you want to throw it down in traffic, and he caught it right in the middle of the field. That's absolutely beautiful catch and throw football.
So let's call it first down and 10 now. The Permian Panthers marching up to the 26, 27-yard line, let's call it. Easley split again left side. He hands it up the middle. Brett Hager again, the ball carrier, brought down by number 63, I believe, for the San Angelo Bobcats. That's Mark Hill, the middle linebacker for the Bobcats. He picked up maybe a yard. 22-yard line, 21-yard line. Second down and 5 for the Permian Panthers. They trail in the football game 14-7. Kurt Strahan this time split out left side. Rex Lamberti, he hands the ball to Brett Hager again, straight up the middle, power play. Not a whole lot there. He goes across the 20-yard line up to the, I believe they'll mark it at about the 16 or 17.
I tell you what, you say he didn't gain a whole lot, but when you look at the when they marked the ball, he picked up about 5 yards on the play. The young man is an absolutely tremendously powerful back.
And he likes to run into you, over you, beside you. It doesn't really make any difference to him.
I understand he would rather run over you.
First and 10 for the Permian Panthers. He pitches to number 13 around the right side. Flag on the play. Number 13 is Marcus Hudgens. We do have a flag back around the line of scrimmage.
Not sure what the call was there on that side of the field. Here, let's watch on the replay as he's coming down in, and he takes a hard hit just about the yard markers, but it's all going to be rubbed out. They're going to be stepping off yardage against Permian, and it looks like it's going to be a major step off.
I believe it's a clipping call.
15 big yards, and that really hurts.
Well, that's been the problem for the Panthers so far this evening. They get a drive going, and they hurt themselves with the penalties. This is the 4th or 5th penalty, I guess, in this football game so far. So let's call it first and 25. The ball back now at the San Angelo 31-yard line. 14-7 the score. 10:08 left here in the first half. That Birdie back barks the signals, hands to Strahan around the left side, but not anything there. He's brought down by number 66, Albert Rodriguez, 171-pound right tackle for the San Angelo Bobcats, leading the attack that time. San Angelo now starting to settle down and play some good defense as Brett Hager comes into the football game with the play, I'm sure, from John Wilkins. Number 18, Dal Watson, checks out. So we'll see what the Panthers have up their sleeve. Second down, 25. Ball marked at about the 32-yard line of the Bobcats. Kurt Strahan in a little bit of motion around the right side. He wants to pass. He completes that ball around the left side to Brett Hager. He's tackled and knocked out of bounds by number 10 for the San Angelo Bobcats. That's Ottaway Pyramid, the right cornerback.
Ottaway is a junior that has broke into the starting lineup in the last 2 weeks, and he's doing a pretty good job. A very beautiful pass and catch and run. Brett Hager once again coming down, but Ottaway Pyramid's a pretty good load. And there was a hit there that looked like it might have been a little bit late. We heard some noise coming from the Permian side of the field. However, the official standing on top of it, he chose not to call it.
Ball at the 16-yard line. Third down, 10 yards to go. 9:22 left in the first half. Of course, Brett Hager, he's a threat on the ground. He's a threat in the passing game because he can do either one very well. Lamberti rolls around right side. He wants to pass in the end zone. It's good. Number 81, his receiver. That's Shane Easley for the Permian score. Shane Easley, the receiver, number 81 for the Permian Panthers. Just a little roll out to the right side. As we see it again, and Easley's there. It had to be a perfect pass again because number 40, Tim Reeby, the left cornerback, he was diving for the ball, and if it had been a second earlier, or later, I guess, he would have made it the interception. So we've got another tight ball game here. 14-13, the extra point still to come from the Permian Panthers. We'll see what they can do here. Snap, falls up, and it's good. So we've got a tie ball game right now. San Angelo Bobcats 14, the Permian Panthers 14. And with 9:18 left in the first half, our score of 14-14. Texas high school football continues after this.
Come see, come shop, come save at JCPenney's biggest and best sale of the year, JCPenney Days. Take advantage of the last 2 days, Friday and Saturday, for super savings throughout the store. Save 25% on the entire line of outerwear for men, women, and children. Or save 33 to 42% on the entire men's Woodmere collection, 3-piece suits, slacks, and sport coats. Just 2 days left of our biggest and best sale of the year, only from JCPenney.
Your wedding is a special day, filled with special memories. At Berggrens, our fully trained staff is ready to help you with complete wedding floral designs, silk or natural. Our beautiful garden under glass is now available for your wedding, reception, or both. Carl Simmons, Art, and Rogers look forward to serving you. Berggrens Flowers, 1506 North Grandview, Odessa.
The anniversary sale at House of Furniture means tremendous savings on quality home furnishings. You can take 12 months to pay with no finance charges. Queen-size sleeper sofas with deluxe innerspring mattress starting at $499. Lane spoiler swivel rocker recliners now only $399. This elegant 8-piece dining room suite now at a special anniversary sale price. Take 12 months to pay with no finance charges at House of Furniture, 609 East 42nd, Odessa.
If you buy bottled water, I want to show you an incredible machine that can save you a lot of money. You ready? Here it is, a telephone. One phone call to Culligan gets you pure, great-tasting drinking water at a fraction of what you'd pay for bottled. Right now, home-delivered bottled water costs you up to $30 a month. When you want pure water, all you lift is a finger. And you can get the equivalent of 30 bottles, up to 150 gallons a month.
Call your Culligan man, Midland and Odessa.
We see it again, Rex Lamberti. The Permian Panthers go to the air. Another perfectly timed pass to...
Absolutely beautiful, and the pass defense on that play was not really that bad.
No, it wasn't.
Reeby got beat just a little bit on it, but he was almost in position to make the interception. Lamberti is just a outstanding high school passer from what I have seen in the first half of this ballgame.
You know, when we started the football game, we said we're going to see what kind of test the Bobcats will have tonight defending the Permian pass. And as you said, it hasn't been that bad, but the Permian pass attack is that good.
Right. It is an excellent passing attack, one of the better high school passing attacks I've ever seen. Lamberti throws extremely well, dropping back, and he is no slouch rolling out with the ball.
Alfred Clark kicks off for the Permian Panthers. Number 8 gets the ball for the Bobcats. That's Rodney Anthony around left side. He's got some running room. He's still got running room before he's brought down across the 50-yard line into Panther territory. Excellent return by number 8, Rodney Anthony, who plays strong safety usually for the San Angelo Bobcats on defense.
Here's another young gentleman on the Bobcat team who has exceptional speed. Rodney Anthony sweeps up the side. He almost got tripped up right there, kept his balance, going up the sideline. He finally cuts back, tries to pick up a little bit more room, and runs into a host of tacklers.
He ran out of bounds back at the 45-yard line of the Bobcats, so they'll mark it back a little bit of where he originally ended up. So the Bobcats have the football at their own 45-yard line. Greg Thomas, the quarterback, he pitches to number 21. That's Derek Campbell. And not a whole lot there for him as he's swarmed by a host of Permian Panthers, including John Wilkins, number 21, as well as several other Permian Panthers.
Number 76 was in there. That's Jim Wilson. He did a fine job on that hit also.
Good defensive play that time, especially by John Wilkins, number 21. So we'll mark the ball at about, again, the 40, we'll just give him a yard gain. 2nd down and 9. Ball still about the 45-yard line in Bobcat territory. Greg Thomas, the quarterback, he pitches again to Derek Campbell. He pitches back to Thomas, and he hits number 44.
That's Fanning, and Fanning is going to about the 10-yard line. Out of bounds on about the 10-yard line. Mike Fanning is Mr. Speed.
There we see it again. He hands it to Derek Campbell. He pitches it back to Greg Thomas, and he hits Fanning. excellent football, not really that much razzle-dazzle to it. He's being chased down the sidelines there by number 15. That's Mitch Madison.
Mitch doesn't ever get there, however. It's John Wilkins who makes the hit on the far sideline, knocks him out of bounds on just about the 10.5-yard line. It would be possible to get a first down just outside the goal line.
Thomas, the quarterback, he pitches to Campbell again around the left side. He's got some blockers. He's trying for the end zone, moves inside the 5-yard line to about the 3 or 4. We'll see where they mark it. So the Bobcats are threatening again. I believe they'll mark it at about the 4-yard line.
Well, I will, at this point, withdraw my prediction of a low-scoring ball game.
I think you should.
It's going to be a wide-open ball game, I do believe.
Of course, I'm sure these 20,000 fans on hand, they want to see it that way. They want to see all.
Well, I'll tell you this much: they've got to be pleased. They've got their money's worth if it ends right now.
Ball at the 4-yard line. The Bobcats threatening in Panther territory. Thomas, he pitches again to number 21, Derek Campbell. He's been the workhorse tonight. He takes it down to maybe the 1-yard line. I tell you, it's interesting the way Jimmy Keeling has been resting Bevins Hoffman tonight with that bad foot. And, of course, Bevins Hoffman hasn't been needed that much with the excellent running so far by Derek Campbell.
Bevins hurt his foot in the first quarter against Midland Lee, and they pulled him out and didn't play him on offense any in the second half of the ball game. He also plays middle linebacker for him and does a tough job for him on defense. And that was where they decided last week to do the most good. Here we go again.
Let's call it 3rd down and 1. He gives it to Bevins Hoffman that time. I don't believe he got in the end zone, but he's close.
But I think he did get a first down.
Trying to get the ball. They're going to mark it about the, looks like the half-foot line, maybe the half-yard line.
They're going to take a timeout to measure this. I do believe from where it is marked, what it looks like, unless those yard markers are a little crooked on the field, I believe they do have the first down on about the half-yard line.
First down.
First down. That gives them first and goal to go. 4 tries from the half-yard line.
So new life for the Bobcats, who are knocking on the door. We're in a 14-14 tie right now. 7 minutes and 32 seconds left in the first half. And the Bobcats knocking on the door again. We'll mention that we've got some excellent halftime activities planned for you with the San Angelo Bobcat Marching Band, an excellent band as I know, and of course the Permian Panther Marching Band. We'll have both of those bands for you at halftime. We've got a whale of a football game going right now. The Bobcats, there it is.
Touchdown.
Touchdown. The ball may have squeezed loose down there. Permian says they recovered it, but the officials say no, it's a Bobcat touchdown. Did you get the number of who scored that? Was that Hoffman?
That was Hoffman.
Bevins Hoffman.
He's coming off the field right now.
Not limping too bad. Looks like
no, I tell you what, a little adrenaline gets flowing, and you get to score a touchdown, some of that pain goes away rather rapidly.
So the Bobcats go on top, 20-14. The extra point still to come. These extra points in a tough game like this are very important, too. It's good.
21-14 is our score. 7 minutes, 10 seconds left in the ball game, and this looks like it could be a real wild, high-scoring football game before the night is over. I don't think anyone would have guessed that there'd be 35 points scored with 7 minutes, 10 seconds left in the first half of play in this, Gary.
Of course, the Panthers coming into this football game averaging 35 points a game. I believe the Bobcats averaging something like a little over 31 points a game. So we're expected at least that much, I guess, out of both teams. But here we are, 21-14 already, and we're not even in the first through with the first half yet.
And the thing that's amazing, Gary, is there absolutely does not seem to be any tendency by either ball club, or ability, that is, I should say, to stop the other team's offense. It's been a hard driving football game, both teams scoring on long plays and being able to complete big hunks of yardage at a whack.
Richard McKnight kicking off for the San Angelo Bobcats. Here we go. Goes across the field.
Ooh, hard
got
hit.
a hand on the helmet and kind of knocked, I believe it was number, I couldn't see for sure who that was.
20, I can't see his number as he's coming off the field. It is number 24. Number 24 for San Angelo made the first contact in there.
So the Permian Panthers, they set up shop at their own 29-yard line, trailing in this football game 21-14. But we've had a wide-open contest so far. 7 minutes and 7 seconds left in the first half as Rex Lamberti brings his team up. See what the Permian Panthers can get going at this time. He barks signals. Hands to Britt Hager. Nothing there for Britt Hager.
Tough hit in there by number 71, and that's Frank
Mayo.
Frank Mayo.
He's a 170-pound left end for the Bobcats.
Right, and he made a hard hit right on the line of scrimmage.
And he was looking for Britt Hager that time.
Right. Do believe you're correct.
He had his number. So Lamberti gets the call from the sidelines from John Wilkins. John Hamilton, number 40, is in the backfield now with Britt Hager. We may see some action out of him. John Hamilton, he's a good one. He's number 40. He fakes to Hager, hands to San Angelo defenders. Blocked my view that time with the field glasses. That was number 17, Kurt Strahan.
Kurt Strahan on a wingback reverse coming back in, a misdirection play coming back into the center of the field. Picked up about 3 yards on a carry.
Let's mark the ball at the 32-yard line, between the 32 and 33 hash marks. 3rd down and 7. 6 minutes and 5 seconds left in the first half. The Panthers trail by 7, 21-14. Strahan split right side. Easley out to the left side. Strahan in motion. He wants to pass. He's under heavy pressure, but it's complete to number 13. That's Marcus Hudgens. He's got some running room across the middle of the field. Cuts back. Great effort that time by Marcus Hudgens.
That was a simple screen pass, and Lamberti did a beautiful job of executing it. He dropped right straight back. Let's watch it here.
He's under heavy pressure.
Right. He sucks that whole line in and brings everybody back with him. Lets his wall set up outside. And the wall peels back, gets those trailing, and good job of running after he catches the football.
So the Permian Panthers pick up a first down, move the ball up to the 47-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go. Lamberti, he pitches to Hager around the left side. He's got a little bit of running room, cuts inside. And I tell you, there's some hitting going on that field.
There are some folks that are delivering a lick or two. That stop was made by number 66, Albert Rodriguez, and by number 26, that's Larry Guerrero. Both of those gentlemen, watch it here. It's some hard hitting going on. He slips one tackle right there, and there's Guerrero, and he gets a little help on the tail end of it there, coming in from Albert Rodriguez.
John Hamilton, number 40, comes in with the play from John Wilkins. He replaces Marcus Hudgens, number 13. Kurt Strahan split right side. We may see a pass this time from Lamberti. We know he can do that. Nope. We see it right up the middle. He gives to number 18, Dow Watson.
He's very close to the first down. If he didn't make it, he is extremely close. It's going to depend on where they spot the ball. Rodriguez in there in the middle of the line making the stop, along with Blackman and a couple of other of their friends in the middle. Mark Hill was in there also. New stadium record for attendance just announced, 20,972, and that is a lot of people to attend any kind of a football game.
And as you said, they've already received their money's worth here in the first half.
Certainly have.
Panthers are going to be, I don't know, an inch, half-inch short.
It is
not much.
Infinitesimally much.
Not much.
Not much. I'm not sure he can get his fingers that close together.
Ball marked, let's call it the 43-yard line, so we'll call it 3rd and maybe less than a half-inch. 4:42 left here in the first half. I'm sure a little Britt Hager handoff here could pick up that first down.
I would imagine Mr. Hager will get the ball. No, it wasn't Mr. Hager.
No, he didn't. They surprised me. Dow Watson.
Watson picks up the first down on that carry.
So new life for the Permian Panthers, getting this running drive down pretty well. They haven't been stunned by any penalties this time.
Right. I think they're executing much better than they were earlier in the game. And they're doing a little bit better job of moving the ball down the field at this time.
Of course, what they like to do is run several running plays at you and then bomb you in the air. We may see that, too. 1st and 10, the Panthers making some ground, trying to catch up in this football game. Hands to John Hamilton around right side. Lamberti throws a block, and he tries to get around the corner, but doesn't quite make it. Brought down by number 63 for the San Angelo Bobcats, Mark Hill, and number 8, Rodney Anthony, the strong safety.
We do have a hurt player on the field. It is number 86 for Permian. That's the left linebacker, Rick Lind. He is down on the field at this time.
The Bobcat.
Pardon me, I'm sorry.
We don't want to mix them up.
I'm colorblind. Can't tell
orange. Let's see here if we can see where the injury took place. As we said, there's some hard hitting. That's Johnny Hamilton, number 40. And bam, right there, there's a lot of feet and
buried
arms
underneath
tangled.
the bottom of that. Buried underneath the bottom. I think he's probably got the wind knocked out of him.
Hopefully that's all it is. They're going to mark off a penalty here.
Stepping off 15 yards against San Angelo. Did not catch the call.
So, let's call
Mark
it first
Lind is
down
up,
attempt.
and they're bringing him to the sideline. He's a little dazed.
He's
I think he got
okay.
his bell rung a little.
He deserves a big hand. He's played a hard football game, and this is going to be a lot harder football game before it's all over with, too.
The hitting out there is absolutely brutal tonight. I've been watching the line play a little bit as Gary's been carrying the play-by-play load here, and there's some real hard hitting going on that line.
Rex Lamberti took some time during that timeout to go over and get some instructions from John Wilkins. Ball marked about the 20-yard line, not quite the 21-yard line. Panthers have a first down. 4 minutes and 1 second left in the second half. And as I've said several times, the Permian Panthers trying to get it together and at least tie up this football game going into the locker room at halftime. 21-14 the scores. The Bobcats have the lead. Lamberti been the quarterback all night for the Panthers, doing an excellent job marching them down the field. Let's see what he can do this time. Hands to Hager up the middle. He's got some running room, running over people. And he moves to about the 10-yard line.
Rodney Anthony finally came
And
in
another
and put
first
the
down.
clincher. Yes, I believe it is another first down.
He ran over several folks that time, and as I said, Britt Hager can do that, and he likes to do that. You stand up and say, hey, Britt, come here, and he's going to run over you. As we see it again, just a simple handoff up the middle, and here comes Hager running over 1, 2, breaking about 3 tackles there and dragging a few folks with him.
Tim Reeby and Anthony got in there together to make that stop, but there was some real tough, hard running by Brett Hager.
That's number 13, Marcus Hutchins, and he doesn't get anything. He may have lost a yard on that play around the right side. Panthers had a 1st and 10, but he was wrapped up around the right side by the San Angelo Bobcats.
Number 36 for San Angelo was a man that got in there and actually put the hit on him, and that's Brian. Pardon me, there is no 36. It's got to be some other number.
So let's call it 2nd down 11. The Permian Panthers can make a first down without making a touchdown. 2:55 left in the first half. Let's see what Lamberti does this time. He wants to throw. He rolls left side. Looking, nope, he's going to run it. And he moves it into about the 6-yard line before he's brought down.
Flag on the play. The far side of the field, there is a flag on the play. And the way the Permian players are reacting, evidently it is against him. It is a motion call.
So we'll bring it all back. Mark that one off the slate. Permian has done that several times tonight, and I'm sure that's one of the things that John Wilkins will tell them in the locker room at halftime is, folks, you've got to settle down if you want to win this football game. Of course, the Panthers know as well as anyone that you can beat yourself with mistakes. And that's what, that's one of the ways that they win. The other folks panic, they make the mistakes, and the Permian Panthers capitalize on it.
I think you're going to find that the San Angelo Central Ball Club is a very well-coached ball club. Jimmy Keeling's no stranger to West Texas football. He was at Andrews and at Lubbock Estacado. He's been around this league.
Lamberti, he wants to pass. He looks, but he's going to run it. He gets a few yards, but not a whole lot. Ball was marked at the 16-yard line. Lamberti brought down maybe at the 12 or 13, possibly the 11. He wanted to throw that time, I believe, to number 13, Marcus Hutchins. We see it again.
Hard hit coming in there from number 52, and that's Lawrence Williamson. Lawrence is a hard-nosed ball player. He's the center on the offense and plays linebacker on defense. Doesn't have exceptional speed, but he will hit you a lick.
3rd down, 13 yards to go. Panthers in Bobcat territory. And the Panthers want to talk about it and call a timeout. So we do have a timeout on the field with 1 minute and 45 seconds left in the first half.
Well, tonight on CBS, be watching for some outstanding television entertainment in the new series, Cutter to Houston. The story of 3 courageous young doctors in a small Texas town, saving lives, taking chances, making a difference. Tonight's episode, a hurricane approaching the town jeopardizes a vital shipment of blood. Be watching for some tense television action and drama on Cutter to Houston, tonight at 7 on CBS.
All right, we're faced with a 3rd down, 13. The Panthers are anyway, and they can make a first down without making a touchdown. They trail in this football game 21-14. Of course, the Permian Panthers ranked number 1 in the state by the Harris poll. The San Angelo Bobcats ranked number 2. And this is a football game that many people in the state are paying particular attention to tonight. It's been said, and I've got to agree with it, and I'm sure you will too, Don. This is the top football game in the state of Texas tonight.
I think it's the top football game of this football season so far, which is about halfway through. And I'll be real truthful with you. I'm going to be very, very surprised, Gary, if we don't see both of these teams in the playoffs at the end of the season.
Of course, there's some other folks in the district that would disagree with that.
Right, and I'm sure they're going to do everything they can to make me wrong.
Third down, 13 yards to go for the Permian Panthers. They trail by 7, 21-14. Lamberti, he looks left side, wants to pass, but he's pulled down in the backfield. Number 69 and number 64 are there. Number 69 being Fred Blackman, and number 64 for the San Angelo Bobcats is Jeff Butkovich, as we see it again.
Jeff Butkovich came breaking through. Both of these are linemen. They came through. This is the first time tonight they've really been able to get the pressure. Blackman gets a hold of him first. Butkovich comes over to help out, and then there's a whole host of the orange-clad Bobcats who get a hold of him and stop it. Going to be a field goal attempt.
Fourth down and 18, and the Panthers are going for 3. Kirk Strahan will try it from about the 20... Let's call it the 26-yard line. It'll be about a 36-yard attempt, and the Permian Panthers want another timeout to talk about the situation. I kind of thought in an explosive football game like this that John Wilkins might go for it, but
well, he's got an extremely long ways to go. He has got 19 yards to go, and the thing that you got to remember, this is still in the first half of play. 3 points after this long sustained drive. They've used up almost 6 minutes of the clock, and if they can score 3 points here, then they're not going to be in bad shape. That keeps them in the ball game and makes the drive worthwhile.
Kirk Strahan will be the man to try the field goal for the Permian Panthers. He's got a bit of a breeze to his back, but I really don't think the wind is going to be that big of a factor. I don't know. I guess the wind
flag is almost hanging
10 miles an hour or so, and I guess the wind's not that big of a factor in this stadium anyway, since it's sunken.
Right, it is a bowl-type stadium, and very little wind effect down on the field.
36-yard field goal attempt. Kirk Strahan will try it. Alfred Holloway, number 20, will be his holder, and the holder is very important on field goal tries. Here's the snap. Strahan's foot's into it. It's long enough. It's good.
That brings our score to 21-17 with the San Angelo Central Bobcats still out in front. We've got 1:06 left in the first half of play. So, Gary, this has been a very unusual ball game, much different than what most of us expected. There was a little bit more defense played by the orange-clad Bobcats that time. However, Permian really stopped themselves still.
I've got a question to ask you, and I don't really mean to put you on a spot. Maybe I do. When we started this football game, you said you expected a low-scoring contest. What were you basing that on? Was that the talk in San Angelo all week, that it was going to be a tough defensive game and there wasn't going to be much scoring? Or what was that based on?
Actually, this was based more upon the stats and the figures that both of these ball clubs have compiled, and upon their tradition through the past years. Traditionally, these two ball clubs have not played high-scoring ball games. They've played hard defense.
Of course, in such a big ball game as this, you can really throw out all of the record books and the statistics for all season, because they're in a different type of ball game tonight than they may have been 3 weeks ago.
Very, very true. And both of them do obviously have some high-powered offensive power.
Kirk Strahan will kick off for the Permian Panthers. Number 17, he's the man that just kicked the 36-yard field goal. We have 1:06 left here in the first half. 21 for the Bobcats, 17 for the Panthers. If we have a squib kick up the middle, bounces a bit.
Anthony has the ball and bringing it back up. He's got some running room around his side. If he can get one block, he's gone, and he didn't get it.
Some holes opened around that right side. It looked like that time that Rodney Anthony might go for the 6. He stopped about the 49-yard line in Bobcat territory, sets up first down and 10 yards to go. Less than a minute left in the first half. And as I said earlier, we have an excellent halftime planned for you with both the San Angelo Bobcat Marching Band and, of course, the Permian Panther Marching Band, and that's always a good show. Greg Thomas, the quarterback, he's number 15. He barks the signals, manning in motion around the left side. He hands to number 30. That's Bevan Tossman, tries to get around the left side, but nothing there. He's brought down by number 84 for the Panthers. That's Jerry Burleson. He's one of the defensive ends, a 183-pound senior. So some excellent defense that time shown by the Panthers as we see it again, Don.
Right. the Permian Panthers were in exactly the right defense. They had a contained man sitting outside, and that's exactly what you got to have to stop that quick pitch back to the fullback. And Burleson did his job exactly like you draw it on the chalkboard.
Second down, 16. Ball at the Bobcat 43-yard line. Derek in motion, pitches out to him around right side. He's got the speed. He's trying to get it. Knocked off one tackle there that took a dive for him.
Number 76 made the stop for Permian. That's
Jim Wilson.
Jim Wilson. Defensive tackle, he got out to the sideline rather quickly, Gary.
So the ball now back to the original line of scrimmage, the Bobcat 49-yard line, just about the original line of scrimmage. Call it third down and 11 for the San Angelo Bobcats, doing pretty well on the ground tonight.
15 seconds left in the first half of play, and there is a timeout on the field at this time.
Let me ask you this. I haven't seen the San Angelo Bobcats this year. Are they the kind of team, is Jimmy Keeling the kind of coach who might go for a bomb here with 15 seconds left in the first half? Do they gamble like that?
The one thing that I have learned in watching Jimmy Keeling coach ball clubs, like I said, at Andrews, then at Lubbock Estacado, and Lubbock Monterey, Lubbock Coronado, Lamar Consolidated, is the places he has been, is that I never second-guess him.
He might try anything.
He is totally unpredictable. He is just as likely to throw as he is to run in this position. I'm sure that he would love to have another score on the board. Whether he feels he can do it or not is another story.
Well, let's see what happens. They're at third and 11 at their own 49-yard line with 15 seconds left in the second half. Greg Thomas with the ball. He wants to pass. Good protection. He's going for the long one. He's going for it and wanted to hit number 38. Couldn't make it.
Which is his flanker back,
Brian Ross. He was open, but it was too long for him, and that's been Greg Thomas's problem all night with the pass. He's throwing pretty well, but he can't hit the receiver.
That was really a pretty difficult pass to throw. He had to drop that over the top of a Permian defender who was playing very good defense.
Plus throw it across the field.
Plus throw it back across the field. It's a very difficult throw, and Permian actually had some pretty good pass defense that time.
So we have a 4th and 11 now for the Bobcats with 9 seconds left in the first half. And they're going to try something here. Might as well.
At this point, you would have to think that they're going to continue to throw the ball. 9 seconds left in the game. There's not much else you can do.
Let's see what Thomas does. He hands to Bevan Hoffman. No.
There it comes. This is Fanning on the reverse coming back this way.
Everybody on that one.
That is the stop reverse I warned you about this afternoon. They scored on that same play against Abilene Cooper on their last touchdown of the ball game. If we can get a replay on that, what you'll see is the fact that
He's to Bevan Hoffman.
No, he stands right there and hands the ball to him. He's simply standing there and suddenly turns around and comes back the other way.
That's a good play. John Wilkins, put that in your playbook.
That's that Jimmy Keeling commented on. Now that you mentioned that, he commented on that this morning as I had a conference with him about the ball. Is that anything you do that is a trick play or that works well for you, you can bet in this district that next year it's pulled on you.
It might be this year. You never know. 2 seconds left here in the first half. San Angelo Bobcats call a timeout. I guess Jimmy Keeling might think that we maybe can pull something and score before the half is over. With trick plays like that, what else can he pull out of his hat?
They have a number. Even have been on occasion to line a short punt or single wing formation.
Can Hoffman or Derek Campbell pass at all?
Yes.
2 seconds left here in the first half. The Bobcats call the timeout. Marked into Panther territory at the 31-yard line.
This will be the last play of the first half.
No doubt about it. Brett Hager comes in. Offensive signals. The Panthers. Going to see what they try this time.
Actually, on the 30 line, it's an awfully long pass for Thomas's arm. I really don't know what to.
We'll find out. Right, rolls left side, looking for the field. Pass, and he does. Beautiful pass into the end zone.
Complete. And that is the end of the first quarter.
That's the end of the first half. San Angelo Bobcats football game. 17. We'll be back at some excellent halftime.
We're proud of the Permian Panthers, and we're happy to participate in the sponsorship of this telecast for the pleasure of the fans in the Permian Basin. We invite you to our services at Lutheran Church of the Risen Lord, 21st and Grandview, and also to our daughter congregation, Our Savior's Lutheran Church at 5200 West, Illinois in Midland.
At the Strike-It-Rich Western Wear store in Odessa, you can expect to find the largest selection of quality merchandise, including Bailey and Stetson hats, Western boots by Justin, Cowtown, Dan Post, and Renegade. Also ladies' fashion Western boots. You'll notice quality in every department, from Western belts to their Wrangler and Lee jeans and shirts. At the Strike-It-Rich Western Wear store, you can expect the best.
Cause Strike-It-Rich is the greatest place on earth.
Why is Jones Pontiac GMC a #1 new car dealership? Here's a great reason. The new Pontiac Sunbird convertible. Nothing could be more fun than driving the highway in your sporty new convertible. And with the flick of a switch, the power top can raise into a beautiful vinyl top. Relax in the Sunbird's luxurious interior with reclining bucket seats, a carefully laid out instrument panel, and power steering. Keeping you #1 keeps us #1 at Jones Pontiac GMC. Right on the price and right on each second at 1510 in Odessa.
When you're close to reaching the casing point on your well, reach for the phone and call Bob's Casing Crews in Odessa or Hobbs. Bob's Casing Crews are efficient, friendly, reliable. They respond promptly and do the job right with the best equipment available, including the highest torque power tongs in the Permian Basin. Day or night, call Bob's Casing Crews in Odessa at 332-4984 and in Hobbs at 393-3362. Bob's Casing Crews, the reliable company.
which features performance soloist David Jackson.
Turning into an offensive powerhouse show, and I'm not going to make any more predictions. This is Don Scott along with Gary Hopper. 21-17 our score, and the Permian Panthers are about to kick off. Back deep are Anthony and Fanning for Central. And Anthony takes it on about the 2-yard line, brings it over to the right side. Fanning gets a crunching block for him on about the 15, but he's swarmed under on about the 20-yard line.
Tackle made by number 20, Alton Holloway, and number 30, Donnie McNatt for the Permian Panthers.
Okay, the Central Bobcats will be setting up the shop on about the 20-yard line, just a hair shy of the 20. Here comes the run back once again. Anthony gets hit real hard. Number 64, number 30, both in there on the hit. Once again, Central out of the huddle, up to the line of scrimmage. They're lined up strong left with a full house backfield. Campbell breaks, goes in motion, counters, comes back, goes over the center, picks up about 2 yards on the play as he's met by a swarm of white-shirted Permian Panthers. Number 85 in there, and that's Gary P., 160-pound linebacker. And Permian is renowned for their linebackers throughout the years. They've had some great ones. In fact, Gary, one of the great linebackers in Permian football history, is a coach on the Central staff now, and that's Bruce Davis. Thomas brings his team up the line of scrimmage, flips back to Campbell as he sweeps over on the left side of the field. He picks up very short yardage. I think that Permian made some adjustments on their defense during the halftime. The hits made there by the whole entire right side of the Permian defense. That's Jerry Burleson, Jim Wilson in there, Gary Holmesley, and Brett Hager. Everybody was over there to meet Derek Campbell as he came that way. Obviously, some adjustments made in the way the Permian defense was playing early in the ball game. Central out of the huddle up the line of scrimmage. They're lined up strong left. Takes the snap. Once again goes back to Campbell. Campbell back to Thomas. Thomas is formed under back on his about 13-yard line, and a flag is thrown for a late hit, I believe. Gary, I didn't see who came in there late on that play. I'm not real sure. They are calling unsportsmanlike conduct.
We'll see it right here.
Let's watch on this and see who comes in here. Thomas is trapped back deep. He actually trips over his own man and goes down. He's on the field, and then somebody comes in there a little bit late, and I still can't see who it was.
I believe that was Jim Wilson, number 76, a defensive tackle for Permian.
Actually, you can't blame Jim very much for making that hit because Thomas has looked like he was down 2 or 3 times tonight and got on and got away and gone elsewhere. So actually just some very good aggressive football. I don't think anything intentional was made by anyone. It is amazing. Both of these ball clubs have played extremely clean ball tonight, and there is a timeout on the field. The San Angelo Bobcats called the timeout. Don't know exactly what the problem is. Almost the entire ball club came over to the side, talking with a couple of the coaches there, and the coaches are talking to an official. I'm not sure exactly what. I think they're contesting as to where the penalty was marked off from, but what they call was a dead ball foul after the play was over, so it would go from the spot of the infraction, and that did not quite give them a first down. So they're going to have a 4th and 1 situation from their own 30-yard line, and that is going to put them back in punt formation. Brian Ross back to do the punting. Permian's got about 7 men up on the line of scrimmage, or 8. Punt comes off the side of his foot, a real squib kick, and comes over here. Very, very short punt. Goes out of bounds on about the 48-yard line on the Permian end of the field.
And not a whole lot there that time for the Bobcats.
Certainly wasn't. I think the coaches were having a discussion with the referees. They were wanting the penalty marked off from the line of scrimmage, which would have given Central a first down, but it was a dead ball foul. It goes from the spot of the infraction in that case and does not give them a first down. Lamberti up to the line of scrimmage with the Panthers. He is strong right. He pitches back to number 13, and that is Huggins. Huggins goes over the right side, picks up about 2 or 3 yards. We'll see where they mark the ball. Jack Butkovich, one of the ones in there on the tackle.
You see it again. That's Marcus Hudgens. He tries to power his way through.
Powers his way through. Picks up a little bit there. Not a whole lot. Picks up about, let's call it 3. Call it 2nd and 7 from about the 49-yard line in the central end of the field.
Hudgens again.
Hudgens again, and he is dropped behind the line of scrimmage for a loss by number 69, and that's Fred Blackman. Fred Blackman has played an extremely tough ball game. He really came into his own last week against Midland Lee, and he is really playing some top-notch defense.
Number 81 checks into the game for the Permian Panthers. That's Shane Eachley, and Rex Lamberti likes to throw to him.
Yes. Mr. Lamberti has, as he displayed in the first half, the tools to throw the ball extremely well. 3rd down and about 9.5 yards to go. Lamberti is back to pass. He's getting some pressure up the middle. He throws complete over the center, and man is met very, very hard. It's going to be very close as to whether or not that is a first down.
That was Kirk Strahan, number 17, on the reception for the Panthers. He's stopped by Larry Guerrero, number 26.
And Larry Guerrero hit him. I thought it was a cinch first down, but comes across, and he's got to go to just about the yard marker there, and he just doesn't quite get there, I don't think. Have to see where it's going to be spotted and where they're going to mark the ball now, and let's see where it is. Going to be very, very close to the first down, but I think he was dropped a little bit short. He is about a foot short. He is about a foot short. It'll be a 4th down play. Let's see what Permian is going to do when they've got the ball 4th and short on about the 42-yard line, and they're going for it. We've got about a foot to go, and they say, with Mr. Brett Hager in our backfield, we think we can go anywhere, anytime for a foot. Bring a man in motion out this way. Handoff goes to Hager, and he powers across very easily for the first down. He's across the 40-yard line to about the 39, and that's where Permian will set up shop with a 1st and 10 on about the 39-yard line.
Number 52 was there for the San Angelo Bobcats. It's Lawrence Williamson. And number 4, Alan Smith, in on the tackle.
Alan Smith has been pressed into service to play a great more defense here. They lost a young man by the name of Becker in one of the ball games, the Cooper ball game, and he is out for the season with knee injury. Once again, Lamberti brings the team up to the line of scrimmage. He is loaded up wide to the right, and he hands off to Hager, who is running a lot laterally, but not making a great deal forward, and another flag comes in on that play. Let's see what the call is. Flag came in late on about the tackle. Looks like face mask, unsportsmanlike conduct, something of that nature. No, it's going the other way. They're calling a clipping. No. Which way are they going? Here we go. Let's watch on the play here. Hager is hit there first by Williamson and then finished off with someone else, and then I'm not sure exactly what. Oh, there was a man pushed back over the top of it. There was a personal foul called. Happened right on the tail end of the play.
I think that may have been Rodney Anthony doing a little after the fact pushing on Kirk Strahan, but I'm not sure that's what it was.
Two very aggressive and hard-fighting ball clubs tonight, and they're going to be hard to play. A little comeback pattern on the far sideline by Strahan, I believe it is.
That's Shane Easley, 81.
Shane Easley, number 81, Shane Easley, a little comeback pattern. Beautifully run pattern and a beautifully thrown ball. Watch once again on the replay here. You can see him throw it out. Shane Easley does what good receivers should do. He comes back to his quarterback to take the ball. That gets him a little room to throw to the ball nice and low and in there very well. Mr. Lamberti is a fine quarterback. A lot of motion in the Permian backfield. That play is going for naught. In fact, it's going to cost him 5 yards. Almost looked at that point that everybody on the ball club had the snap count except the center. PA announcer is helping us out there, telling us what it's all about.
That's nice. Marcus Hudgens comes into the football game for the Panthers, replacing Johnny Hamilton. They're the carriers tonight for John Wilkins.
All right, Permian out of the huddle up to the line of scrimmage. They're lined up this time strong left. Split the backs in the backfield. It's the ball, hands off, coming around to the left side, and it's hard running by Hudgens, and I mean hard running by Hudgens. He was tackled at least by 4 different people and never went down. Just absolutely. He's been watching Brett Hager.
Fred Blackman and Albert Rodriguez finally brought him down. Can you believe he's only 147 pounds? At least that's what it says on the program.
Well, I'm not believing the programs, but this young man is really running hard. Now, he takes a lick right there, shows amazing balance, keeps his speed, takes another lick right here, and just keeps on driving. Comes over, takes another hit right here, and pulls out of this tackle eventually, and goes on downfield a little bit more before somebody finally gets a hold of him and drags him down. And I think he may have picked up the first down. They're brought the chains clear across the field to check it on this sideline. And it is a first down. So Permian driving right on down the field, much as they did in their first possession of the first half. And this ball game is going to get tighter and tighter.
Marcus Hudgens says, hey, Coach, look at me. Even the little folks can do it. I'm sure that's why he's starting the football game.
Well, he certainly did demonstrate some exceptional ability and exceptional balance on that play.
Johnny Hamilton back into the football game for Permian in the backfield along with Britt Hager.
Lamberti has the team up. He's got it lined up strong right this time. He takes the snap, hands off to Huggins. No, he doesn't. He hands off back in the middle.
To Hager.
And Hager bangs in there real hard with his typical power style of running. Picks up about 3 or 4 yards.
The middle linebacker for the Bobcats, Mark Hill, was there to make the tackle on Britt Hager.
And I'm sure that Mark had to have some help on that because I haven't seen anybody bring Hager down by themselves all night.
That's true.
Once again, up to the line of scrimmage, and they're lined up strong right. Takes the snap, drops straight back, hands off to Hager up through the middle. Hager drives it down very close to that first down marker.
I tell you, Britt Hager is really giving those tackles a workout for the Bobcats. Albert Rodriguez, number 66, was the first man there for San Angelo. And then number 69, Fred Blackman, came in to give him some help to bring down Britt Hager. And that is a job.
It is third down and about 2 yards to go for a first down, 5 yards to go for a touchdown as the Permian Panthers are threatening here in the third quarter of play. Pitchback comes back to the speed back there. He's met down, and he has the first down, I do believe.
Marcus Hudgens again with the carry, number 13.
He does have the first down. It'll be first down, goal to go from, looks like about the 2-yard line where they're marking the ball. So it'll be first down, 2 yards to go for Mojo. So some hard running here and some great blocks thrown out in front. And that's Mr. Lamberti. Mr. Lamberti came out there and he said, there's a lot of folks, but I want to take whoever I can. And he stuck his head in there and made another yard or so for him. Hands off to Brett Hager, and he is stopped on about very little gain.
Stop made by Mark Hill for the Bobcats, number 63, along with number 40, Tim Raby.
Yes, and Mr. Blackman was in on the bottom of that stack. He is the one who made first contact in there, and the other, he kind of held him up, and the other two came over to finish him off. But call it no gain. Second down goal to go from about the 2-yard line. Up to the line of scrimmage. Hands off once again to Hager, and Hager is in for the touchdown. That brings the score up to about 23-21 in favor of the Permian Panthers. Once again, Hager just powers his way in. He runs with absolutely beautiful body lean. It's what you try to teach people to do when they're down on the goal line. And this young man with his 195 to 205 pounds, according to who you're listening to, has that beautiful body lean and beautiful power. He just drove it in across the goal line to score that touchdown. Extra point attempt is up, and it is no good. Is that correct? It is. No, it is good. It is good. Call it 24-21. Our score is 24-21, 5 minutes, 10 seconds left to go, and we'll be back in just a moment.
I never should have let it go this long.
Good thing you brought it in. Bronco Chevrolet Smart Scope will check all 5 major systems, starting, charging, ignition, fuel, and emission.
Gee, I hope it's nothing serious.
Oh, Bronco can find anything from a bad wire to a burned valve, all without opening up the patient.
Well, that's good to know.
Ah, there's the problem.
Oh, how can I ever thank you, Dr.
Goodwrench. When you need to know just how healthy your car is, whatever the model or year, Bronco has what you have in mind.
The Henderson Parker Agency, 715 East 7th Odessa, is now in their 51st year of service to this area. They are insurance specialists in all fields, including general liability, workman's compensation, contractors' bonds, and automobile insurance. They offer fire and homeowners insurance, umbrella, and excess liability. The Henderson Parker Agency is your independent insurance agents, in business since 1932 and ready to serve you. The Henderson Parker Agency, 715 East 7th Street, Odessa, phone 337-2391.
Come see, come shop, come save at JCPenney's biggest and best sale of the year, JCPenney Days. Take advantage of the last 2 days, Friday and Saturday, for super savings throughout the store. Save 25% on the entire line of outerwear for men, women, and children, or save 33 to 42% on the entire men's Woodmere collection, 3-piece suits, slacks, and sport coats. Just 2 days left of our biggest and best sale of the year, only from JCPenney.
When you're close to reaching the casing point on your well, reach for the phone and call Bob's Casing Crews in Odessa or Hobbs. Bob's Casing Crews are efficient, friendly, reliable. They respond promptly and do the job right with the best equipment available, including the highest torque power tongs in the Permian Basin. Day or night, call Bob's Casing Crews in Odessa at 332-4984 and in Hobbs at 393-3362. Bob's Casing Crews, the reliable company.
Take a look at that last touchdown by the Permian Panthers. It's just power by Brett Hager. He gets some help up there from Kirk Strahan, but not much. Just powers his way over the right side of that Permian offensive line and makes the touchdown for the Permian Panthers and gives them the lead 24-21 with 5 minutes and 10 seconds left in the football game.
Gary, we have kind of neglected that Permian line tonight, but they have had some absolutely tremendous blocking up front. Roger Smith in there has done a tremendous job, and Carmen, Alfred Clark, Robert Roundtree, these guys are doing a tremendous job blocking up front. They are some superb linemen.
They want to retain that #1 offensive ranking in the district. They're proud of that. I don't blame them. They deserve it.
They have a good ball club. Kickoff comes back, and it is to Fanning. Fanning starts up the middle of the field, gets a little bit of a wedge there, breaks out, comes up a little bit further, and gets dropped on about the 31 or 32-yard line.
Tackle made by Johnny Hamilton.
Johnny Hamilton making the tackle there, and there is a Permian Panther down on the play.
see it again.
He's standing there. He's got his hand on his back, giving the lead. If he'd have got past right there, he had a wedge out in front of him that could have certainly given him a lot more room. He just couldn't quite close enough behind the wedge to get through. This ball game is extremely hard fought down there. Both sides of the line of scrimmage, there's a lot of very, very hard hitting going on. Nobody is timid about hitting people.
I think that's Donnie McNatt down for the Permian Panthers, and by taking a look at it through the binoculars, it looks like he may have just had the wind knocked out of him, which is easy to do in a hard-hitting football game like this.
I guarantee you, these young gentlemen on both sides of the line of scrimmage have got to be in superior physical condition if they're going to be able to play in this kind of a ball game.
Head coach John Wilkins comes out to...
I'm afraid it's a ankle or a leg, somewhere on his right leg that is hurt somewhat. Certainly hope that it isn't serious. I hate anyone to get hurt in a ball game. Hopefully it's only a sprain or a twist, and he'll be back and ready to play, if not by the end of this ball game, certainly by next week. All right, San Angelo Central trailing in the ball game by a score of 24-21. Quickly up to the line of scrimmage. They're lined up power right, full house backfield, and Thomas keeps the ball, comes over the right side, picks up about 2.5, 3 yards on the carry. Let's call it 3 yards and set it up is going to be second down, 6 yards to go on just about the 35-yard line.
Brett Hager was there for the Panthers, as well as Gary Holmesy, John Wilkins, and several others.
Number 38. Hager, pick up a 5, second down, 5.
Well, maybe he made 4 on the play or 5. It's I'm going to call it second down to 6 yards to go because he usually got it's a long 5 or a short 6. Thomas once again up to the line of scrimmage, looking over, checking over his ball club, lined up strong right, flanker to the left. Takes the snap, pitches the ball back to Derek Campbell. Derek Campbell breaks through, comes across, picks up the first down out to about the 44-yard line, 45-yard line perhaps is where they're going to mark the ball. Derek Campbell doing a good job of running on that inside series.
Mitch Madison was there for the Panthers, as well as Gerald Carmen, as we see it again. A lot of hard running from Derek Campbell before he's finally brought down at about the 44-yard line.
First down, 10 yards to go for the San Angelo Bobcats. They're trailing in this ball game by a score of 24-21. Simple little handoff play on the left-hand side. That didn't go for much, maybe a yard on the play.
Tommy Bell was there for Permian, number 69. Brett Hager was there as always.
San Angelo Central shuffling their wide receivers and split ends back and forth as to determine who's going to be bringing in the play from Coach Jimmy Keeling. Actually, is phoned down from the press box. Coach Rex Schofield up in the press box calling most of the offensive plays. Thomas keeps the ball, swings around the left-hand side. Got a little bit of running room, fumbles the football, and let's see who's got it. Looks like Permian. And that's the first turnover of the night, and that could be indeed a very, very costly one.
Number 20 coming up with the football for Permian. That's Alton Holloway. We see it again.
As soon as he swings out here, Greg Thomas carrying the ball awfully loose out in front of him. When he gets hit, he just drops the ball. It goes along further than he does.
And Brett Hager's the one that put the hit on Greg Thomas to cause the fumble.
He carrying the ball like a loaf of bread out in front of him, and you simply cannot do that. First down, 10 to go, and we're going the other direction now, headed to the north. Very quickly, Permian out of the huddle, up to the line of scrimmage. They're just lined up strong to the left, hand off to Hager, sweeping back toward the right-hand side. He's got some running room out there. Finally bumped out of bounds after about a 7 or 8 yard gain.
Knocked out of bounds by number 26, Larry Guerrero.
Didn't pick up quite. Must have stepped out of bounds a little bit quicker than I thought he did. Let's call it second down and I would say almost 4. Once again, out of the huddle up to the line of scrimmage. Lamberti down under, takes the snap, pitches it back to number 13, and he's finding some rough going, but doing a good job of weaving his way, keeping his legs moving and weaving through traffic. And that's Mr. Huggins once again. He is a fine-looking young man, runs rather well.
Marcus Hudgens, number 13, as we see it again, trying to pick his way through the middle. Not a whole lot of going there. He picks up some yardage. but it is rough going through that line. Number 40 brought him down finally, Tim Reeby.
Tim Reeby is really come on strong for the San Angelo Central Bobcats since the first of the season, doing a very good job in that defensive secondary. Once again, the handoff goes to Hager. He picks up, I believe, the first down. It was about a 3rd and 1 call, and it's very close to the first down. Let's see where they're going to spot the football. Baseball's a round thing, right?
Yeah.
Small round thing.
As everyone can probably hear in the background, we have a shouting match among the 21,000 fans here at San Angelo Stadium. Of course, the Permian Panthers, they're loud, and the San Angelo Bobcats, they're loud, and I don't know, we may even have some folks from other towns that just came to see this high school professional football game.
I'll guarantee you this much. They're seeing one fine football game, and Permian did pick up a 1st and 10 on it. So they're going to be setting up shop on about the 40, let's call it the 42.5, 43-yard line of San Angelo Central, and this is where the San Angelo Central defense, if they're going to remain in this ball game, they have got to hold on this series of downs. Another score by Permian at this point would make it very difficult for Central to get back in the ball game. The flip back goes back to number 40, and that's John Hamilton. He is stopped for very little gain on the right side of the field. Give him a yard on the carry, and that'll set it up 2nd and 9.
Fred Blackman, number 69, one of the Bobcats there. He's been a workhorse tonight.
Blackman plays tremendous defense for the Central Bobcats, has done that all year long. This is, as I say, Gary, I feel a very, very crucial series for Central. They're behind 24-21. If Permian scores again at this point, it would be very, very difficult for Central to get back in a ball game. Counter coming back to Huggins, and he has dropped it for about a 4-yard pickup, maybe 5. Let's see where they mark the ball. Brian Ross is the first man in there on the stop. And call it a pickup of 4, make it a 3rd down, 5 yards to go. And here's the replay. Let's take a look.
Marcus Hudgens there. Little reverse as he goes through the middle. Getting that head down. I'm glad I'm not on that football field.
The hitting is indeed fierce on the football field. There are some real licks being delivered. Pitch back this time coming out wide to this side, and he is bet hard out here on the corner, but he didn't go down. And he is out of bounds, and it is going to be very close. We're going to just have to wait to see whether he made that first down or not.
That was Dal Watson, number 18 for the Panthers.
Dal Watson doing a good job of running. He was hit deep in the backfield right there the first time, and he kept on going, takes another lick there, almost goes down, but manages to keep his feet, keep his balance, gets his shoulders squared around, and heads upfield. And before he is finally brought down right on the sideline, and I'm not sure whether it's a 1st and 10 or not.
We'll find out in a moment as they bring the chains across for the measurement. Only 52 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. The Panthers marching. First down.
Another first down. That brings it down to about the 32-yard line in the San Angelo Central end of the football field. Permian has got a determined drive going on. The Central defense is going to have to find a little bit of buck up here because they've got to stop this drive or they're going to be in very large trouble. In this ball game, a 10-point deficit might be more than anyone could overcome. Lamberti back to throw. He is being rushed, throws the ball way over the head of the receiver. I think he had to unload a little bit early. He really didn't want to throw yet, but it was a lot of pressure being put on him on that rollout pattern to his right side.
Mike Kwiatkowski was the closest man to it for the Panthers, number 82. As you can see, Lamberti, he's under a lot of pressure right here. He's got to get rid of that football and wisely overthrows everyone.
Threw it out in the grass where there is no one to receive it, and that's the best place to go. If you can't get it to one on your side, then don't throw it to anybody.
That's right.
That's pretty simple, isn't it?
Sure.
Gee, I wonder why they can't figure that out. Lamberti down under, dropping right straight back, looking for somebody. He's got a lot of thresh. It's a screen pattern that's set up coming out this way to, and he is hit hard. Coming up from behind. Someone recognized that screen a little bit quicker. That was Alan Smith. It came back off of the rush and peeled back to pick up the screen man. Give him a pickup of about 4 on the play and set it up as 3rd down and 6 yards to go. Let's
see it again. The man that caught the pass is Dal Watson, number 18. And number 21, I believe, for the San Angelo Bobcats came in to get him.
Number 4 coming up behind him is Alan Smith, and then 21,
Derek
Campbell came from the other direction. Once again, dropping back and rolling out the pass. He throws complete over on the far sideline, and that is to Brett Hager, I believe.
How can you forget his name?
I don't know. It's a nightmare. The man is a tremendous ball player. He is a tremendous ball player. Plays extremely hard, catches the ball well, has good hands coming out of the backfield, and runs extremely well up the middle. And that, my gentlemen, is the end of the third quarter of play with our score at 24-21. That's all for the third quarter. We'll be back with the fourth quarter of action in just a moment.
Going to the fourth and final stanza here in San Angelo, Texas. The Permian Panthers have the lead 24-21 over the San Angelo Bobcats. The Permian Panthers have the ball. They have the momentum at this time with a very good drive going right now. The ball marked back at the 22-yard line. Panthers setting up first down and 10 yards to go. It's been a hard-fought football game, but the Panthers have been able to get it together here in the third quarter especially without the penalties and really move it down the field and push the Bobcats back and back and back, and it's going to get interesting. We've still got 12 minutes of football to play, and that's a long time, but right now it looks like the momentum was on the side of the Permian Panthers. Of course, they were a bit shaky and shifty there, if you want to call it that, in the first half, but they've settled down. As the Bobcats, they've settled down, but they're a bit shaky here in this second half. Rex Lamberti still the quarterback. He's number 25 for the Panthers. He barks the signals, looks over the defense, and here we go, starting this fourth quarter. Fakes the handoff, wants to pass in the end zone for Kurt Strahan. He dives at it, gets one hand on it, but it's a little bit too long. Kurt Strahan, intended receiver for the Permian Panthers. He plays at the wingback position. He's 170
Anthony
pounds.
was back defending on that, along with Campbell. Both Campbell and Anthony back there to defend, and they were actually in pretty good position on it.
Kurt Strahan, he's one of Lamberti's favorite receivers. Just does an excellent job, but that one's just a bit too tall for him. Johnny Hamilton checks into the football game for the Panthers, replacing Marcus Hudgens in the backfield. We're just underway here in the fourth quarter. The Panthers with the lead, 24-21. Set up first down, 10 yards to go at the 22-yard line of the Bobcats. Lamberti back to pass again. Wants to go to a quick one over the left side. A little bit too hard and a little bit too far in front of Kurt Strahan again, number 17 for the Permian Panthers. So these last couple of downs anyway, we've seen some quick passes from Rex Lamberti, I guess trying to get that Bobcat defense off balance to see what they can do there, but they haven't been successful so far. So we'll set up a third down and 10 now. Ball still at the 22-yard line. Johnny Hamilton in the football game. Brett Hager, the sole man in the backfield. They can go any which way. Lamberti rolls left side, wants to pass, but he's going to run it. Lamberti can run it, and he runs it well. They'll mark the ball down at probably the 8-yard line, maybe the 7-yard line.
Looks like he made another first down. It's going to depend on the mark. Once again, they're going to call it back in. They're going to call the change in from the far side to measure it. I thought he got a little further than that. Maybe not. But his knee must have hit a little early.
We'll find out right here whether the Panthers get new life down deep in Bobcat territory. First down, Permian.
First down by about the nose of the football.
That counts.
Yes, sir. It all counts.
So the Permian Panthers get new life here early in the fourth quarter. They have the lead, they have the football, and they have a first down, so very important.
Central just brought in their goal line defensive group.
Let's mark the ball at the 12, or at the 7-yard line, excuse me.
Bobcats have had some tremendous goal line stands on occasions this year. And they're going to have to put up one of their best ever if they're going to stop this drive. Handoff goes to Hager, and he picks up maybe a yard.
He just took a dive, picked up about a yard on the play. Let's call it second down and about 5. Second down and 6, actually. 24-21 is the score. Permian Panthers on top. Kurt Strahan split right side, out to the right side. Hager and Hudgens in the backfield as Rex Lamberti looks right side, wants to pass. He's hit. Just as he released the ball, and number 69, Fred Blackman, got a hand on it.
Blackman almost intercepted himself a ball.
Been a little shorter, we'd had maybe a different ball game here.
And, you know, defensive tackles don't really know how to catch football.
But I guess that's the dream of all of them, though, to intercept the ball or recover a fumble. And Fred Blackman almost had one there. 3rd down and 6. The Permian Panthers knocking on the door of the San Angelo Bobcats. They have the lead by 3 in this football game, 24-21. Lamberti, he pitches to Hudgens, tries the right side. Lamberti throws a block. He's going toward the goal line. Knocked out of bounds at about the 1.5 yards. It's like 1.5 yard line. Maybe they may mark it at the 2. I believe they're going to mark it closer to the 1 yard line. So,
44 Fanning is the one who finally got out here and put the hit on him and just forced him out of bounds. This young man does a tremendous job of getting his shoulders squared around, going upfield and heading toward the goal line.
Permian Panthers want to call a timeout, talk about the situation. Knocking on the door, 4th down and 1. The ball at about the 1.5 yard line, 1 yard line, let's call it.
Rick Wilkins and his brain trust talking over things with Mr. Lamberti, and they're trying to decide what they want to do. That's Bruce Davis you're seeing on this side. He's the defensive coach. Actually, Coach Keeling is out on the huddle with the Central Bobcat defense, trying to tell them the last things to do. Here they come back off the line. I believe that was Coach Quillian we had in the picture a minute ago instead of Coach Davis. As I see Coach Davis coming out of that huddle. Couldn't believe he wasn't out there.
This could possibly be the play of the football game. 10 minutes and 45 seconds left in the 4th quarter. The Permian Panthers with the football, faced with a 4th down and 1 situation. And as you said, the Bobcats have been known to have a very good goal line stand, and if they're going to have it, they need it right here.
If they've ever played a goal line defense, this is the time that they better play it to the very best of their ability. I don't think there's any doubt in my mind if I was the coach where I would be going, I'd hand that ball to Mr. Hager and let him run.
Nope,
but
he gives it to Marcus Hudgens around that side. He's got room.
He's got room, and he's in for the touchdown.
Touchdown, Permian Panthers. Marcus Hudgens for a 1 yard run around the left side. I tell you, that Permian backfield, or the Permian team, is so explosive as we see it again. Marcus Hudgens, look at that speed. He's got on the afterburners. He's going in for the score. But what I was going to say is that Permian football team, who do you key on? Do you key on Fred Hager? Do you key on Johnny Hamilton? Do you key on Marcus Hudgens? You know, you're chasing them all over the field all night long. Kirk Strahan will try for the extra point to put the Panthers up by another point. Here we go. Kick is up. It's good. So the Permian Panthers go out to a 31-21 lead, a 10-point lead over the San Angelo Bobcats with 10 minutes and 39 seconds left to play in the 4th quarter. A big hand, a well-deserved hand being given by the Bobcat crowd for the Bobcat defense. But I tell you, the Permian Panthers, as well as the Bobcats, they're both finely tuned machines, and once you get rolling, it's hard to stop either one of them.
See, Central huddled on this near sideline. The coach is there with them, trying to fire them up and trying to give them up something to get this thing rolling back down the field, because they've got to score on this drive. They've still got plenty of time left in the ball game, but it's going to be real difficult when you're down by 10 points. On that touchdown run by Mr. Huggins, the key block was the one that was thrown on Fanning out on the he plays the outside support for there, and he cut him down on the line of scrimmage. You watch him coming through here, number 44, and the block right there, it brought him down, and that clears the way on the outside because he had outside support on the play. When he went down, there was no one left.
Alfred Clark, number 67, will be the kickoff man for the Permian Panthers. Back deep for the San Angelo Bobcats, number 21, Derek Campbell, and the man who plays quarterback for the San Angelo Central Bobcats, number 15, Greg Thomas. We're about ready to kick off here after the Permian Panthers went on top by 10 points, 31-21. 10 minutes and 39 seconds left in our football game. Here we go. Clark with a kickoff. It's a squib kick. The Permian Panthers tried the onside kick. Was it long enough?
It traveled 10 yards. Yes,
Permian gets the football.
Permian gets the football.
On the onside kick, it did travel to 10 yards. I think that might have surprised San Angelo.
I think that was the last thing in the world that San Angelo Central was looking for at that point was the onside kick. the young man that was there from Central, he did not think the ball had traveled 10 yards, and he didn't go after it, but they kicked off from the 40, and the ball is down on about the 4-yard line, 45?
40, let's call it the 45-yard line. 1st and 10, the Panthers with the football. After the onside kick recovery, Rex Lamberti, he hands around left side to Britt Hager. Hager around the sideline, runs out of bounds up about the 40-yard line in Bobcat territory. Let's see where they mark it. They're going to mark it.
No, he stepped out a little quicker than that, I believe.
Yes, he did. They're going to mark the football at about the San Angelo 43-yard line. Let's call it 2nd down and 7, a pickup of 3 by Britt Hager.
Alan Smith coming out of the game.
I tell you, it wouldn't surprise me. No telling what's going to happen in this football game.
Well, both coaches realize the importance of this football game and the importance in their future for the rest of this year, and they're really filling out all the stops. Good running there. Brett Hager had a good stop in the back, but Brett Hager carrying the ball did a good job.
Moves across the 40-yard line to maybe the 38. They're going to mark it at the 39-yard line, I believe. 3rd down and 3. Pick up a 4 by Britt Hager. Rex Lamberti comes in after a brief chat over there with John Wilkins to see what he wants to call.
That was Devin Hoffman who got out there. He's in on the defensive unit now. He got out there to make the stop.
Shane Easley split wide right for the Panthers. He's a favorite target of Rex Lamberti. He hands to Marcus Hudgens, tries it over the middle, but he's brought down quickly. That's Red Blackman again. We've heard his name a lot tonight.
Mr. Blackman is a fine defensive ball player, and he dropped him short of the first down. It looks like Permian is going to bring in their punting unit on this one.
4th down and 1. They're going to show us a punt formation anyway. 9 minutes and 25 seconds left to go in our football game. The Panthers with a 10-point lead, 31-21. And the Permian Panthers, they want to talk about the situation on 4th down to see if this is the right decision to make. Punt the football. We'll find out in a moment.
Lawrence Williams and Devin Hoffman coming to this side to talk with Coach Keeling, and we'll be back just a moment. Our score is 31 for Permian, 21 for San Angelo. We'll be back in just a moment.
Here's the situation John Wilkins and the Permian Panthers are faced with. They're faced with a 4th down, 1 yard to go. Ball at the San Angelo Bobcats 37-yard line. 9 minutes and 21 seconds left in the football game. 31-21 score with the Panthers in the lead. And John Wilkins has to decide if he's going to punt the football. And he has decided he is going to punt the football. Number 18 back to do the punting for the Panthers. That's Dowell Watson.
Back deep for San Angelo is Fanning and Thomas.
There's the punt. Good snap. He gets it away. Aims for the coffin corner. And Permian downs it right at the goal line.
Right on the goal line.
Looks like it might be the 1. Can you call it the 1? Just put the glasses on.
See where they're going to mark it out here in the center of the field, but it is very, very close to the mark.
They're going to mark it right inside the 1-yard line, maybe the half-yard line. So the Bobcats are faced
with a 10-point deficit and 99 yards of real estate in front of them. That's a big, big order.
Their backs are against the wall, to say the least. But let's don't give up hope yet as far as the Bobcat fans are concerned. Now, the Permian Panthers, they like to put a team in this situation. With their backs against the wall, they play some of their best football. We'll see what happens here. 9:12 left in the football game. Greg Thomas still the quarterback for the San Angelo Bobcats, backed up on the half-yard line. He pitches to Derek Campbell. He doesn't get a whole lot. I don't know if he got anything.
Just barely got back out of the end zone. Permian guessed right on their defense that time. They had their defense lined up strong to this side, and they were all coming.
John Wilkins was there for the Permian Panthers, as well as Tommy Bell, number 69, and several others, doing a good job on containing Derek Campbell. 8:48 left in the football game. 2nd down and 10. They gained nothing on that last play. Backed up in the end zone. Thomas looking over the Panther defense. It's a shaky situation, a scary situation for that young man. He wants to pass. He's going long out of the end zone. Intended for, that's John Wilkins. That's John Wilkins with the interception, number 21. He's going to get a good return on that. He's pulled out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. So the Permian Panthers come back with the turnover. I was going to say that ball was intended for number 88 for the Bobcats, Bill Osborne. But John Wilkins did a good job of juggling the ball around to make the interception and a good return. So the Panthers are set up in great field position at this time. Mark the ball at about the 8-yard line. First down and 10 yards to go. The Panthers with the ball. The Panthers with a 10-point lead. Greg Thomas kind of slow coming off the football field. Looks like he might be limping a little bit.
That's the type of thing that happens to you when you get down against a team like Permian and you're forced to do things from deep in your own end zone, and then you get the turnover and it causes big problems. That's the second turnover for Central tonight, and both of them have cost them dearly.
Marcus Hudgens, a ball carrier. He's looking for room, a little bit of running room there. And I tell you, this tackling is getting even harder down there. I didn't think they could hit any harder than they have been. Number 63, Mark Hill, the middle linebacker for the Bobcats, brought him down. Fred Blackman was also there as we see it again.
Okay, Hudgens coming around on this side, looking for his hole, looking for a crack to cut up. He sees one there, cuts up the field, starts back up in, picks up about 5 yards on the play. Then he is really met and stopped very, very hard.
Shane Easley split out left side for the Panthers. And Rex Lamberti pitches it back to number 18. That's Dal Watson, who tries to play in the end zone with a pass, but it was way overthrown.